Redrick here, the mom strategist. I'm cooling down from the gym today. It was a light day today. Today was my small muscles day. And I did 10 minutes of jumping rope with the GYSB jump rope program, which I love. I've lost almost 20 pounds doing that program. So you guys need to check Carla Palmer out. It's called the GYSB movement. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist, and I support clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com. And so today's scope, hey Colleen, this is just really quick from the gym and doing my cool down. And for the next 5 or 10 minutes, I just want to share with you guys just a real quick insight as to maybe why you are not where you want to be right now in either your life or in your business, all right? And the purpose of this scope is to move you forward, to get you to make a shift, or to create some insight that makes you say, that's totally it. And you'll do something different as a result of what you hear. Now, do me a favor, if you're watching this scope, good morning. Please share on Twitter, on Periscope, and on Facebook. Thank you for inviting your followers, because we know that there's someone else out there that you care about, right? That they're not where they want to be either, and they will totally and absolutely benefit from this message. I'm in the gym right now. So I want to break this down for you guys over the next couple of minutes, all right? I'm Mia Redrick. Hello. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com, at miaredrick.com. Now, the real reason why you may not be where you want to be, this is what I see over and over again with clients, because you're probably talented enough and smart enough, and you know your stuff either professionally or in your business. So it's really likely not those things. It usually boils down to one of three of these things that I see with clients. It's either that, one, you're not being vulnerable. So to create great success requires vulnerability, okay? And what I mean by that, let me shut this door because people are coming in. And what I mean by that is, to create great success in your business, you have to be willing to be vulnerable. That means that sometimes you got to be willing to do things that, you know what, make you vulnerable, like that scare you, that you don't have the answers for, that might make you look silly and things like that. And I think often people get really, they get really conflicted whenever they have to be vulnerable. So what I know for sure is that the more vulnerable I am in my business and in my life, like if I'm vulnerable with love, I'm able to get more love, right? And ask for what I want and say what I need, or put your heart all the way out there. Usually when you're willing to do those things, you get more of what you want. And a lot of times, whether we're talking about in life or business, people aren't willing to be vulnerable. You guys know I'm telling you the truth. And as a result of that, it's really why you can't create what you want. So vulnerability might even be asking for a sale. Hey, Tommy, good morning. It might even be asking for the sale or working with a certain client. Maybe you are afraid to make that pitch because you have to be vulnerable to do that. They might say no to you, but they might say yes to you also. So if you're not where you want to be, likely it is because you're struggling with vulnerability. You're afraid that, you're afraid of what happens if I extend myself, if I make that ask, if I make that bold request of myself. What are the people going to think in my life? Am I crazy? What if I fail? And I'm telling you the truth, all right? So that's one of the things that I've seen as to one of the reasons why often people are not where they want to be, is because they're not willing to be vulnerable. And it does require success, love, all the great things in life require us to be vulnerable, truthfully, all right? So the second reason why you might not be where you want to be is because you may not be being transparent. And what do I mean by that? That means that in order for you to be attractive to anything that you want, whether we're talking about in a relationship or whether we're talking about in your business, you have to be willing to be transparent about whatever it is that you want and whoever you're dealing with, right? Thank you. I never thought of the connection of being vulnerable about like being necessary to be uncomfortable. Yeah, but vulnerability is so important And it's a partner in success. I mean, anytime you're going to the next level or reaching for something big, you have to be vulnerable. You don't know if it's going to work. You know, you don't know if you're sitting on that stage. You don't know how the audience is going to receive you in advance. So it does require a certain amount of vulnerability to reach for your big dreams, to ask for, what you want in any relationship, to pick up that phone and make that call. You don't know what's going to happen on the other side. And it does require you to be vulnerable. And a lot of times, if that muscle is really weak, you'll also find that your actions are all around protecting, sort of, I was talking about this the other day, pain in your life, or because we want to avoid pain. But being vulnerable is just one of those things that, like, it's an uncomfortable feeling. You've got to know when you're feeling that so you can push through it, and say, okay, this is what I'm feeling. I got to push through that. I know, exactly, right? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing that I wanted to share with you is that I see with clients in terms of why they're not where they want to be, is vulnerability and transparency. So transparency means that, like, if you're hurt, you say, I'm hurt, right? If you're happy, you say you're happy. If you're, if you wanted more, if you wanted to ask for more from a client, like for a sale, you ask for more. So a lot of times we aren't completely transparent about what we really want. And as a result of that, a lot of people end up taking what they don't want. You guys know I'm telling you the truth, right? Taking what they don't want, putting together packages, selling things that they should never be selling their products and services for, because they don't want to be transparent about what they really feel it's worth, because again, they're dealing with that vulnerability factor. What will people think? What if they reject me? What if they say no? All of those things. But what you got to understand is that transparency is really important, and it's an important part, in my opinion, of being authentic in many ways, is being transparent, saying, listen, hey, like, if you want to work with me, people don't pay me for what I do. People pay me for what I know. And so, yeah, you've got to make an investment in what I know. I mean, when someone's purchasing coaching from me, they're purchasing the opportunity to learn what I know. And once they know what I know, they can do what I do. And so I'm never selling what I do. I'm always investing. People are investing in me because of what I know, and I have to charge for that. It's like if I teach a client how to be able to create profit in their business, they're going to create profit for a lifetime. Their entire family life is going to change. I just got a note from a client the other day that said, thank you so much for changing my family forever, my family situation forever. Well, so I understand that, and I'm transparent about that when I'm speaking to a client, and I tell them what exactly I'm charging for my services, and they say, wow, well, that doesn't meet my budget. What I understand is that is not my deal, right? That's not my deal. My deal is for me to properly value what I'm going to provide that client, which is that transformation for their life to change, and I have to be properly compensated for that. And that's just transparency. And I think a lot of times with your clients, you don't say what you really want. And as a result of that, you don't get it, not because you can't get it, but because you're not being completely transparent with that client about what it is. And that's for those of you who are underselling what you have. Or it could even look like in your relationships that you want to maybe date your spouse, or you want to spend more quality time together, and you're not being completely transparent, because then you go back to that vulnerability, or you're wanting somebody to, like, read your mind, right? I know I called you out, and they can't do that. Just be transparent. Like, I totally want to go out with you. I totally want to spend time with you. When I don't get to do that, this is how I feel. It requires you to say what you really need, and that's the only way to get what you want. Thank you so much, right? All right. And then the third reason why I feel that you may not be where you want to be is because of implementation. It's just one other thing, this implementation. The thing is that there's no business in the box kind of situation. I don't care what business it is. Anything that you're looking to create a better relationship, a better business, greater profits, it requires consistent implementation and action. And anything other than that is not real, okay? And so, this idea of, like, flash cash or running out and just doing something to generate a quick dollar is not what I believe. I believe that you want to build a solid, sustainable business that once you get home, you get to stay home with your family forever. And it's just really, really important. I think a lot of people don't think about it this way because it requires implementation, like consistent implementation and maintenance in order for you to get to where you want to be. And so I just want to say that for those of you who are not where you want to be, look at what you implemented this week. Look at what you implemented last month to make your dream happen. And I recommend doing 3 simple things every single day that can move your life or business forward and your business forward. And you know what? If you do that, that's over 1,065 actions in the direction of where you want to go. That's definitely progress. When I coach clients, what I often see right off the gate is that they believe they're doing things that they're not doing. Like they believe they're implementing and they're not implementing, or they're implementing the things that are easy, not the things that are the vulnerable things that will change their life. And you got to play on that skinny branch. And when you play on that skinny branch, your entire business and your entire life is going to flat change. Trust me on that. All right. So, and the last thing, right? The last thing is number 4, all right, and that's investment. And I know you guys are like, uh-oh, and some of you might even drop off, or if you haven't shared on Twitter, on Facebook, on Periscope, please do. But here's the thing, okay? Investment is essential to the growth. If you want more time, you want more money, you got to invest time and money to create those things. If I told you anything other than that, it's not true, all right? When you create success, it is because of the investments where you have planted a seed, all right? And then that seed comes back, all right? If you want time and money, you've got to invest time and money. The time that I invest is time studying or working on my craft, or, you know, or being consistent, sending out pictures and things like that. Things do not just happen like overnight. And I think so many people haven't built up that muscle. Not, you know, like if your desire is to be a great entrepreneur and you're coming from a workplace, you got to understand that the mentality is different. In the workplace, people tell you what is most important. You have a certain number of hours likely that you're meeting every single week to meet goals and objectives. You have other people guiding that. When you're an entrepreneur, that is all driven by you. And one of the reasons that I think it's so important to make investments in coaches is because then you have that accountability that you are already used to being accountable in. The biggest transition that I see among entrepreneurs is that most of them they could do so much, but they ask so little of themselves because they're not willing to make the investments necessary to make the bold request of themselves. I mean, you know you could do it, but then it's going to make you vulnerable. Then you get scared and you don't ask yourself to do the things that you need to do. You guys know I'm telling you the truth. So what I recommend is that you invest at a high level. If you want to, let's say you want to make 6 figures this coming year in your business. A lot of you guys are already making 6 figures out there. But let's say you want to make 6 figures in one of your product launches in your business. Would you invest $10,000 to make $100,000? Think about it. Yes. Okay. Would you invest $10,000 to make $100,000? The answer is yes. Okay. And this is so important for those of you who are, you know, quick to talk about what you do not have. You don't have it because you don't invest time and money in the thing that you want. If you want time and money, invest time and money in a solution that can allow you to have that. So that's what I wanted to share with you today from the Gem Scope. That was pretty good, right? Just like right off the cuff. If you are not where you want to be, that is likely why. Now, this morning, I don't know if you guys were able to catch my morning gym. Well, it was before the gym. I had just gotten out of the car. Thank you so much, Tommy. I am offering strategy sessions. If you guys are interested, I think 6 have already gone. Last I checked just a little bit ago, 6 are already gone. Strategy sessions for $497. You can just book one and you save like $1,000, right? Off of a strategy session with me, $1,003 off of a strategy session with me for 1 hour. Now, this is going to be for you if you want a strategy, you want to get some clarity around what you need to do. Maybe you already have a program and you're just trying to figure out how to up-level your profitability. Maybe you're trying to figure out how to position your brand or how to pitch in a different way. So you can go to my bio here on Periscope and book a strategy session for $497. It will always, okay, awesome. It will only be available for the next 24 hours, only for 24 hours or 20 people. All right. I know that 6 people have bought them. I don't know that I saw your name, Laura. Okay. Thank you so much. But, okay, number 7, there you go. So now there are 13 left. And the last time we did it, last time I did it, actually, I thought it was in December. It was actually back in January. And so it's awesome. So in any event, if you're interested in that, go to my bio here on Periscope. I'd love to be able to support you and moving forward, all right? I'm Mia Redrick. While I've been listening, okay. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist, and I'm a business coach. And I support my clients with understanding your life informs your business. Don't you ever forget that. Like your life, you build an amazing business because it is informed by your life, all right? And I just want to tell you that, yes, that's right. And it's informed by your life. And when you don't think about building a business around your life, then you build a business that you want to leave. I work with so many clients, whether they have brick and mortar businesses or service-based businesses or product businesses, and a lot of them have businesses they're trying to undo because they were chasing, that business, but they were not building a business that was informed by their lifestyle or how they wanted to live. I work from the comfort of my home about 30 hours a month. I service my clients. I love what I get to do. I work with a beautiful group of people, and I really do. It's not like a hype thing. My clients can attest to that. Really high quality people. And what do I mean by that? They're great people, right? And I designed a business that I was like, who would I want to work with? What would that look like? What time of day would I want to work? Okay. What kind of programs would I want to offer? How could it be time rich for me? How can I make sure I'm like able to go to the gym and start my work day at 11 o'clock if that's what I choose? Today I'll get in the office a little bit later today because I'm the boss, right? And you can do the exact same thing with a plan and a strategy and with some focus. But you are going to have to be vulnerable, that's for sure. You are going to have to be transparent because that's necessary in order for you to get to your next level. You are going to have to flat implement, and you are going to have to invest in a solution that will advance you forward and support where you want to be. All right. I want to open the floor for the next 2 minutes and see, are there any quick questions for me? Did this support you guys? All right, did this support you guys? And if you have not shared on Periscope, on Twitter, and on Facebook, please share before I sign off today. Because, hey, Colleen, good to see you. And Colleen, I always say your name like that, all right, because you're just wonderful. You're just a beautiful, flat, great, awesome person to work with. Always great. Have a beautiful day. I can't wait, Laura. Hey, good luck. What time is your meeting this morning? What time is your meeting? Make sure you slay that meeting, all right? You go in there, put on your music, your armor of God, okay? And you go in there and you pitch and you knock it out. And, I like to use affirmations before I go into to pitch, and I might put I'm more than a conqueror, and therefore you might say something about where you're going to be and what's going to happen, or greater is he than in me than he that's in the world, and then I might put something from my meeting in that, so that I begin to just get my mind right, and I'm just focused on the word and seeing the possibility and understanding that piece. So I like to use affirmation cards for things like that to get my mind right. Whatever you believe, whatever you see in your mind's eye, that's what's going to come out. So that's why self-talk is so important, even looking in the mirror. As a lot of people like to do that. I like to just use the cards, and I'll say it so much until I believe it, till I flat. It just becomes part of me, all right? So, but you got this, all right? You got this, all right, Laura? And I'm pulling for you. And we're all pulling for you, all right? You got this, all right? Are there any quick questions for me? One more minute, and then I'm going to sign out. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. I'll be back later today with a teaching scope, a business teaching scope that will go in my scope school, all right, which is where all of my scopes are. Hundreds of my scopes are in my scope school. It's like $147 a month. You can always check that out at miaredrick.com, okay? All right, I want to thank you guys. Dr. Colleen said, go Laura, okay? You guys all need to say go Laura. Laura's slaying. She actually, in one day, literally in one day, went out there and pitched 4 or 5 different opportunities that she sent to me, in one day. She made up her mind. It wasn't even a day. It was literally the second half of the day. And she went out there, she picked up the phone, and she is making it happen. And I'm so proud of her, all right? I'm so proud of her, all right? So I want to thank you guys. Thanks, Tommy, for putting it there. I want to thank you guys for your time today. I appreciate you. I love you. I'm Mia Redrick. I am the mom strategist and a business coach. I support clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com. All right, yes, that's right. Thank you guys for sewing into her, right? She's going to do great, that's right. And you can always check me out. If you want to book one of the strategy sessions, we now know there are 13 left. And when we get to 20, they are going off, okay, because that's all I can do is 20 of those, okay? And for $497, grab it. You'll save $1,003. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Check my bio out on Periscope. Love you. Bye.